This video is for anyone who is studying for their New York State Barber license exam. Let's get to work. All right, so it took me a little bit to adjust the camera, but I finally got it ready. This is what your draping is going to look like with a mannequin instead of a human being. You cannot have these drawings on the face, but for rule of thumb, you have to have a mannequin with no facial hair. 4 towels draped nice and tight. I do have a towel in the neckline just to have it keep nice and snug. This is what your typical setup is going to look like. The station is going to have your steamed hot towels that I'm simulating right now. There is no towel warmer, so this water bottle serves as a way to saturate the towels for the shave. We're just going to put this on, and normally if this was a human, this would be a hot towel to leave on while you prepare your blade in the straight razor. But since it's now on a mannequin and there's no need for a blade and you're actually not allowed to bring one, I'm just going to go and see what my setup's looking like. So I have my razor. Conventional blade is not allowed, so you have to have a changeable blade straight razor. Shaving cream is going to be a single use, so you have to have a canister. And there's my pocket towel for any excess that I may have. So this is when I would take off the first hot towel. You're going to have a garbage area right here, so I'm going to throw that down there. You don't want to have a lot of shaving cream because you will be taking it off your hand, and you don't want to have too much on the neck. You'll see later in the video that I probably should have used a little bit less, but you do want to have the face covered. Again, you're not going to see these sections and arrows, so for the video purposes, I kept them there, but for your test, real time, you cannot have drawings because it's essentially cheating. You should have sections 1 through 14 and the strokes memorized. All right, so you can see how I'm trying to smooth this out, make it nice and covered. You don't want to see through any of the patches in case they're walking around. Your application of shaving cream has to be pretty even. Now, see all that excess on my hand? You're going to take either paper towels that you brought, or I'm using an extra PSD towel. I could have used my pocket towel if I wanted to, but I like not having shaving cream get on my pants as well. So the mannequin is set up. You do not use a blade in your changeable blade straight razor, so this is when we start to get to work. You can adjust the mannequin's head. It's kind of difficult. If you move it too abruptly, the towels can fall out, so just be careful. Here I'm starting with section 1. My thumb is simulating a skin stretch, so that was a freehand stroke position. That excess towel is for wiping off between sections. I went back in to try to get all the shaving cream off. I'm pretty sure the judges will be understanding if there's a little bit left, but I wanted to make sure it was gone. Normally for a human, you can have them adjust their head and look up a little bit. It is kind of awkward on a mannequin, but number 2 is backhand. That's what I'm doing right now. Always wipe off your excess. 3, you're stretching the skin for every single section, even though it's on a mannequin, even though the skin doesn't stretch. They want to see that you know exactly what you're doing. 4, it's kind of hard to see, that's freehand. You have to stand where your client's torso would be to grab that. So my thumb is right on the jawline, my razor's being pulled down. For 5, to pull up with reverse freehand, you do stand behind your client. That's the same for the whole bottom row. You can stand at the torso, at the shoulder, or right behind your client, but you cannot stand on the left side. So again, turn that mannequin without pulling out the towels and ruining your drape. It's going to be a little difficult. Hopefully it's not on a counter. This is 6. It's backhand. Extremely awkward. Make sure you just have the correct positioning. 7 is also backhand. Notice I'm standing right behind the mannequin, not to the left. 8, you move. It's a lot of moving when you get to the other side. 8 is freehand. Pull that toward you. Even though I can't stretch the skin, I am putting my finger there as if it was a real human. 9, again, see a lot of shifting. The stretchiness is awkward. 9 is always the most awkward spot, I feel. 9 is backhand down the neck. but you stay in the same spot for a reverse freehand for 10. And this is when you can start to move the mannequin back to a normal position. Next up is 11, go across the chin. That's the most difficult part, in my opinion, for a human, so that's a good thing. 12, you can do freehand down, or you could do reverse freehand up. I prefer freehand down, but pay attention to where I'm standing so I could see it as well. Don't do backhand here, you're just gonna make your life more difficult. Then 13, reverse freehand, straight up towards you, standing behind the mannequin, slightly over the shoulder. And 14 is reverse freehand as well. So you have 10 minutes to complete the entire drape, shave, disposable of towels. So I'm getting rid of that one since there's shaving cream on it. Throw that in your hypothetical garbage bag that says dirty. And now you're gonna simulate your last hot towel. This is to take off the excess shaving cream. So pay attention to how we roll this off once it's on there. You definitely wanna cover up all the areas that still have shaving cream. This is when you could clean up if it was a human, but since it's on a mannequin, you wanna get everything done in that 10-minute time frame. The drape stays similar for the facial, but this towel we're gonna be rolling off, keeping tight contact with the skin so it essentially scrapes off all the excess. You have to roll it inside of itself for it to become sanitary. I did miss a little bit, so I can go back in with my pocket towel since I'm not gonna use that for the facial. All right. These two towels are gonna stay the same. If there were shaving cream, you would replace them, but it looks pretty good, so I'll leave it for the facial. All right, guys, that was a quick overview of the 14-stroke shave. I hope you were able to pay attention to where I was standing in relation to the 14 strokes and the strokes that I was performing and my hand positioning for all of that, because that's really what the judges are looking for, in addition to sanitation, which is the most important. So good luck.